I was asked to do a second series while the X-Files was in production, and I had gone to Seattle to do research on what I thought was going to be one thing, but ended up being another. And it was fueled by the interest in the coming turn of the century. And I felt that there was a fear that was building in society that Y2K was sort of coming into the familiar lexicon. And I felt that there was something brewing. Little did I know what was brewing in the bigger sense. But I wanted to do a show about a guy who had a facility, if you will, to look into the minds of killers and to wed that with the sort of coming millennial malaise. I remember doing the 4th season of The X-Files and the 1st season of Millennium, and then getting ready to do the movie. It was way too much work. I think there were about 1,000 people working on 1013 productions at that point. It was, I don't know how we ever did it. The experiences were very different. The shows were very different. One show was about the paranormal and it was really considered a science fiction show, where Millennium was much more about earthly villains and real killers. The actor Lance Henriksen works in a very different way than the actors on the X-Files, and that was an experience for me too. I wanted it to be a scary show, but I wanted it to be a thought-provoking show as well, and that's why we began the original episodes with a quote. We wanted it to make the audience think and actually do it in I would call it a sort of literate way. The original and initial response was great. We got big ratings. I mean, in today's terms, the ratings were astronomical. But the show sort of being on Friday nights at 9 o'clock, it took on that sort of cult audience once again. And while even when the show ended, our ratings would be considered great by today's standards. We actually kicked ourselves off the air, I think, after 3 years by producing a television show called Harsh Realm, which ended up taking its place on Friday nights at 9.